Hello and welcome back for another cube draft. We open up on this pack and there's quite some interesting cards here. There's Tezzeret, but that's one you can wheel. There's Time Warp, you can do some shenanigans with that. But mostly there's a Tinker, and Tinker is pretty broken. I have to say that a lot of the times when I draft Tinker, I don't feel it's so great because I feel like I don't have enough artifacts or I don't get the right payoff, but I do know that this card is good, and maybe I haven't gotten it to work all that many times in regular cube, but I do want to try it. Then on this second pack, what do I want to take here? There's Narset, which is good. There's Metal Worker, which kind of goes well with Tinker. There's Ancient Tomb, which sort of also goes well with Tinker because you can ramp out an artifact a turn earlier. Underground Sea is always nice as a good duel. Coalition Relic, I think I take the Narset. Yeah, I think so. Well, there's some cards here as well, that's for sure. There's Forge Master as another version of Tinker. Way worse, but still, it's there. There's Academy Runes, which we can use to recur some of our artifacts. I like that too. Not sure if I want to pick it here. I kind of want to wheel both of these, but that's impossible, of course. Trade-off if we want to go green, but I don't want to. And there's Splinter Twin, which I also just going to ignore. So I'm just going to take one of the two cards for my deck. And then I think Forge Master. I've not been impressed with this card, but I guess it does some cool things. I do remember that they took out, what's it called? Lightning Greaves. So this is a lot worse because of that. There's Lodestone Golem, which we can use to disrupt our opponents. I mean, we can be a very heavy artifact deck. Although we also have Tinker in our set, so maybe not. Revoker's not bad, but I think I just pick up a duel here. Yeah. Ooh, Force of Will to get through our Tinker. I do like that. Otherwise there's Smuggler's Copter as an artifact, but I don't think that's going to be particularly good. So let's take the Force. This pack, there's Karn, Ancestral Vision. Ancestral Vision is nice, but it's pretty slow if you're not suspending it early. Karn does go nice with a bunch of artifacts. There's also Chandra, which can power out artifacts if we can't cast them. Chandra is another color though. I think I take Karn. Wormcoil Engine, Oblivion Stone, Pyretic Ritual. Wormcoil is an artifact that we can tinker out, and I think it's also just a bomb creature, so let's take that. Thran Dynamo, Stonecoil Serpent. I think I take the Thran Dynamo. It's a little awkward sometimes where you just play it and your opponent immediately blows it up, so I try not to play this turn 4 and then not be able to use the mana right away. I'd rather still cast something else that actually impacts the board. But I'll take it here. Ooh, Tezzeret, that's kind of perfect. Tezzeret with a bunch of artifacts, a legitimate win con, and yeah. Ooh, Metal Worker 2. We're definitely in the right deck, I think. Do want to pick up some cheap artifacts. Yeah, Academy Wield, that usually happens. Actually, a couple days ago, I had a decent blue artifact deck with Tezzerets and Academy Runes. I think I also had Tolarian Academy, and then I had Golos in it. And even though Golos couldn't actually be activated, just searching for all of these techie lands actually was surprisingly good. Nothing really, but balance can be good in the artifact deck. Just play a bunch of artifact mana and then play balance. Similarly, Armageddon can be good, otherwise there's Field of Ruin. I think I take Field. Unlikely to play Armageddon. I'll take the Dark Dwellers for sideboard. Well, mono white's open as it usually is. That deck's very good, but I never go in it. Maybe I should do that more often. There's Tolarian Academy, which I kind of want. This could wheel, but doesn't always. If there were any better artifacts or cards for our deck, maybe try and wheel this, but the best card we could find is Frost Titan, and I hope to be able to do better than Frost Titan. Grim Monolith Strip Mine, Wars of Signet Spell Pierce. So I do love me a Strip Mine, and if we would be able to pick up a Crucible or already had one, I might take this, but I think this artifact deck just wants Grim Monolith. Extra and fast ramp. There's Goblin Welder. Goblin Welder always looks like it's going to be sweet and then never performs. I love this card, but I honestly almost think it shouldn't be in the cube anymore. I'm thinking of taking Everflowing Chalice. It's a cheap artifact we can use with Tinker. Other options is Miscalculation, but I want to have a high artifact count, so I'm taking this. Well, I want to have a high artifact count. I'm not taking Porcelain Legionnaire though. I think the options here are Dig Through Time or The Ready. I think it should be the Ready. We already have the Scalding Tarn to splash. Dig, it's not looking like we'll fill our graveyard all that quickly. So let's take the Ready. There's Worn Power Stone, Prismatic Vista, and Brazen Borrower. those are, I think, the pick. Worn Power Stone is kind of a worse version of Thran Dynamo in some ways. Like I said, Thran Dynamo, you play it, then something bad happens to it, and you're sad. And maybe you're even more sad with Worn Power Stone. Prismatic Vista can help us splash the ready, but I don't think I'm really that desperate for fixing. And Brazen Borrower is at least some form of early interaction. This is a tricky one. I think I'll take the Borrower just as a interaction spell. Yeah, we need to do something early. Counter spell or Impulse? Impulse is more all in on a combo, but I do like having a counter spell in my deck. And it looks like we'll be mostly blue, so it seems fine. I'll take the Banefire. Don't intend to play it, but maybe. Omizawa's Jet or Vampiric Tutor. Jet is an artifact. It is pretty good, but we only have 4 creatures. Do I want to splash for Vampiric Tutor? I mean, we already know the Underground Sea is gone. I could see playing the Jet, but Jet's kind of whatever. Like Forge Master, no. I think I'd take the Tutor. Smokestack, Dark Ritual. Let's take the Smokestack. Don't think I'll play it, but you never know. Nothing here. I'll take this Exhume then. Lion's Eye Diamond. It's an artifact, I guess, but well, we have this Balance and this Vampiric Tutor, which I'm on the fence about playing. Same for the Ready, kind of. The Ready, though, it does do some stuff. Smokestack, I don't know either. I'll take away a Yawgmoth's Bargain. Take a Spirit. Take a Wrath. Not sure if we wanted to wheel something, but we didn't. Okay, Mana Drain. That's a very nice card. I wouldn't mind getting back a Mindslaver either. That kind of works with Academy Runes. Maybe we can set that up if we have enough cheap artifacts with the Larian Academy. But Mana Drain is great. Golgari Signet also would be a nice wheel. Mana Drain it is. Demonic Tutor, Kozilek, Jace, Dak. Those are some cards. I think it's between Dak and Demonic Tutor. Honestly, not sure. Demonic Tutor makes the Tinker Plan more reliable, but it could also still be black-blue. Dak Faden does work nicely with the Ready. Oh man, this is a hard pick. Our fixing is better for red, but only with 1 land. And if we pick up a duel, it has to be Watery Grave, then I think, oh man, what do I want here? This is a real tough one. This sets up more Tinkers, but right now our Tinker isn't that impressive. I think I take the Dak. I might regret that one. Well, there's Dimmer Signet and there's Rakdos Signet. I guess we've made our choice, and this is a better splash Signet anyway. Arid Mesa, Relic as another cheap artifact. If I already had a duel, I'd probably take the Mesa. I think now I might just take the Relic. Time Spiral, High Tide, Sphinx. We can take the Sphinx as another Tinker target, but at the same time, it kind of fits the same role. It's good against the same decks. Against aggressive decks, if I have a Worm Coil, that's about as good as a Sphinx, I think. So Time Spiral, if we can get a Tolarian Academy out, could be good. Let's take the Time Spiral then. Chrome Mox is another cheap artifact. That seems like it could be good. Yeah, let's take the Chrome Mox. Preordain I like. Take that, and then Balance, the Ready is in, Smokestack is out, and then Vampiric Tutor is probably out as well, just to have better mana. It looks like we do need some more playables. Inkwell. Inkwell's a nice alternative Tinker target. Yeah, let's take that. Maybe, just maybe, we can get another Signet. That would be sweet. If you're like, with many of these artifact decks, it lacks a way to interact with the board, and then if your thing gets disrupted or something like that, then yeah, I'm kind of struggling. But we'll see. I didn't get an Upheaval or something like that. That would also be nice with all of the mana production. It's Mindslaver versus Golgari Signet. I really want this Signet, but Mindslaver is also pretty sweet, especially with Academy Runes. I'm just gonna go for the Mindslaver. Probably not correct, but whatever. Maybe there's a world where Dimmer Signet wheels. Well, I'll take a Batterskull, or do I take Burning? Burning could actually be good. Just burning out and then have Narset or have Dak or the Ready or something like that active. Or just a Batterskull. Let's take the Batterskull, just only lightly splash red. Take a Frenzy. Museum Mortars, I like having one. I'm not sure if I'll play it, but I'll gladly board it in. Someone else can do the High Tide. Or maybe, yeah, let's take the High Tide. I don't think we'll play it, but who knows. Tangle Wire, I will play, I think. Something that can slow down the board and we can tinker it away. Well, mono blue artifacts, definitely not my preferred archetype, but I guess that's what we got. What do I want to change? Maybe not main the Batterskull, but board it in. and our land situation is this. So 16 lands, seems like that should be enough. And then, yeah, I think this is the deck. I'm a little bit worried about our early plays and ways to find Tinker, and can we do the Tinker thing on time? I guess we'll see. Let's just run it through the league. Round 1 with our blue-red artifact deck. Let's see how it goes. Well, this is a non-keepable hand, that's for sure, so that's mulligan. Yeah, this is keepable. It's not necessarily great, but it has potential. What do we put back? Inkwell? Yes. It's a little bit awkward because I kind of want to save my Scalding Tarn to get a red land, but then I might have to undo my Preordain next turn. So I guess I just go for the blue land. We don't have a red spell yet, and there's not that many in the deck. Preordain. Well, 2 islands. Do I want to keep 1? I guess I do. I just want to be able to play something on turn 3. And they also play an island. Lotus Bloom. So this is some sort of storm deck or whatever. Ooh, I think I go Grim Monolith then, and then just pass. And next turn we can play Karn with counterspell still up. That seems worth it. Swamp, blue-black, could still definitely be Storm. Thran Dynamo. I could also play Thran Dynamo with counterspell backup. I think I do that, and then we can use the Dynamo to untap the Grim Monolith if they don't do anything. And then the turn after we can play... Well, we need to draw an island, but then we could play everything and still have counterspell up. They play another land. And their Lotus Bloom is coming off suspend next turn. What is this? Emery. Do I care about Emery? I mean, it could be very good, but it could also be very mediocre, so... Well, yeah, like I said, it could be very good, could be very mediocre. Looks like it's mediocre for them. Let's untap this thing. So we have a boatload of mana now. Yep. Now we drew the island, so I guess that makes it somewhat easy. Let's go Narset minus get a Tezzeret. Ooh. I mean, if we play Tezzeret, then we don't get to keep up Counterspell. That's the biggest downside. What I actually think I'll do is just play Karn. And next turn maybe I'll play Tezzeret. And I'll make a dude so we can protect Narset from Emery. And then next turn we can play Tezzeret and prep him for ultimate. And then the turn after we can maybe ultimate him. I'll just let this Lotus Bloom resolve and counter whatever comes next. Famous last words. Swamp. So let's see it. Tinker. Well, definitely countering Tinker. I'm glad we did this. We're still way ahead now. And this Tezzeret can still do things next turn. That doesn't work. Yeah, they targeted the Lotus Bloom, but they cannot cast it. And you can't suspend it from the graveyard. So yeah, that's not a thing. I believe they are realizing that now, and they pass. See if we can set up a win. Relic of Progenitus. That's not a bad one either. Let's Narset first. Ooh, we get to take Force of Will here. I mean, Tinker's good also, but Force of Will just means we are very well set up to just protect our win, because we already have quite a bit of power. And then what can we do? You use the Thran Dynamo to play the Relic, so then I have 5 artifacts and it can even kill through having Emery as a blocker. Yeah, well, I guess this guy can also attack, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe if they have Yogg-Will or something. Feeling pretty good about this game now. Show and Tell. It seems like a card I want to counter also. I mean, they knew about the Force of Will. Maybe they thought I was going to let it resolve, but even though a lot of the times you can beat Show and Tell resolving, I am not going to take a risk. Is there anything I want to change? I think not really. No, let's just run it back. If we get the Tinker, we go for the Inkwell. Them having islands and the life game probably not super relevant. The only thing I was considering is putting in High Tide and then maybe ramping something out that way, but I think I like our deck as it is. Another option would be to board in Museum Mortars for their Emery, take out Tanglewire, but didn't see any other creatures, so... Well, this hand has a Metal Worker and a Grim Monolith. Doesn't have any real action, but I think I keep. Any big spell off the top will likely be able to cast. Preordain. Yeah, this might be a greedy keep, but we'll see. Chromox. Oh, yeah, Chromox maybe not at its best in a largely colorless deck. It's gonna make some mana with Metal Worker. And next turn we can play a Grim Monolith and then immediately play Metal Worker. Probably worth it. Let's just fetch our island here. We don't need a mountain, so... Ooh, Tezzeret. Let's play Grim Monolith. And we'll play the Metal Worker. We have potentially some... Yeah, potentially next turn we have a lot of mana and we'll easily be able to untap this again. Or the Tezzeret can untap it. Thief of Sanity. Ooh... That is a discarded card, and we don't really have a good answer for it. We have the the Brazen Borrower, Lion's Eye Diamond. Interesting. So we can make some mana with the Metal Worker. Let's start there. Reveal those two. Then we can play Tezzeret and tap both of our artifacts. What can we find with Tezzeret to maybe stop this thing? I don't think there is anything really. Let's just untap our Metal Worker and our Grim Monolith. And then tap, reveal these two. Play the Thran Dynamo. And play the Chromox. And the reason I'm playing the Chromox is this way we have 4 artifacts that can become 5/5s. So now, well, they can also animate the Mutavault. What I could have maybe done is just play the Field of Ruin and actually use it to kill the Mutavault. And then our Tezzeret would be better protected. If they do not kill the Tezzeret, then I can just animate these. Yeah, I'm close to saying that not playing the Field of Ruin is a punt here. It probably is. They can also be thinking that maybe they can block with it. No, they animate it. We could have avoided this. We could have avoided this. Yeah, the Thief comes at us, and then the Mutavault at the Tezzeret. So, yep, that's a little sloppy. I'm not very happy with that. Away goes an island and an ever-flowing chalice. What did they find? Knight's Whisper. That's not ours. Come on, give me something good. Time Spiral. Well, I think that's good. Let's go play Field of Ruin. And then tap a bunch of mana and just Time Spiral. I think we need to find something. Curious if our opponent corrects their LED. They do. Would he discarded Vamp, Force of Negation? This means we lose 1 mana realistically because we'll just untap 6 lands. Yep. Then I'll just go to combat. Thirst for Knowledge. What do we do here? I think I definitely play Narset. And I'm probably just using the Grim Monolith mana this turn. We have both our mountains in hand. That's so bad. I wanted to have the Field of Ruin, but now we draw it already. Let's minus. Oh, what do I want here? Can I play the Mindslaver and use it? 2 mana left from this. Oh, Tezzeret. We can also still use Tezzeret. Yeah, let's take the Mindslaver. That seems like an awesome thing to be doing here. Untap the Grim Monolith and the Thran Dynamo. Let's just play the Mindslaver, and then next turn we also get the ready Mindslaver them. Whew! Hopefully there's no Force Negation. No, it doesn't look like there is. Let's just Mindslaver them. And that wins the match. Alright, glad we took the Mindslaver over that Signet. That was the card we were looking for, and we found it. On to match 2. Round 2, we won the die roll, and we open on this one. I think I'd keep this. Turn 2 Monolith, turn 3 Dak. This is not Supreme Vintage Cube where you need to always be blistering fast, so... I mean, this can definitely go wrong, but we'll see. They mulligan to 5. That's something I'd like to try and avoid, so I'll keep a broader range of hands than most people do, just because I hate mulliganing so much, especially with a deck like this. Like, if it's a modern deck, and I'll play a lot of Dredge in modern, and there you just need a specific combination of cards to be able to do anything. And in Draft, that's, even in a format as powerful as Vintage Cube, that's not always the case. Go Island and pass. See what our opponent is on. Forest. Fast Bond. Fast Bond is not great when you mulligan to 5. Let's go Mountain, Grim Monolith. Yeah, Fast Bond needs a very specific deck to be good. Maybe our opponents have it though. Mountain, Jiraga Tree Speaker, and a land, and then level up the Tree Speaker. They have a lot of mana. Now they just need to find something to do with it. Ooh, they didn't level up their Tree Speaker. That is interesting. Let's go Dak and loot Chromox Counterspell. So discard this Chromox in this island. I guess we might as well discard the mountain. We're never going to play double red spell. Don't think our deck's going to die this turn, but who knows. Another land. Now what? Now they level up the Tree Speaker. Did I think it has Summoning Sickness to level up? Another level, and then another level. Sure. I'm not sure if this final ability is ever going to be relevant, but who knows. Loot some more. It could have also been hitting our deck. Ooh, there's a Metal Worker. Let's get rid of this mountain, and I guess this relic. Play the island. I kind of want to Mindslaver my opponent, but at the same time, they don't really have anything going on. So what do I accomplish by doing that? Now, I think I just use the Monolith to play the Metal Worker. That way we can block the Jiraga Tree Speaker, build up to Dak Ultimate. Not sure we really have anything to do with that. And then we have our counters up. We can also still untap the Monolith at the end of their turn if they don't do anything again. Library of Alexandria. It's going to take a while to become active. More leveling. We just need to find something to do and maybe kill them some way, but we're pretty well protected from stuff that they could do. So their elf is fully leveled, and then end step, we untap our monolith, take our turn, Thran Dynamo. Well, let's keep plussing with Dak. Ooh, Time Spiral, Academy Runes. I kind of want the Academy Runes, but I also want the Dynamo. Do I need the Time Spiral? I don't really want a Time Spiral this game, do I? That seems very poor. Can I can make 4 mana with the Metal Worker, play the Thran Dynamo, play the Mindslaver them, but then I don't get to set up a lock with the Mindslaver yet. I think I just discard this and a counterspell. Tap this, reveal Mindslaver, reveal Thran Dynamo, and then play Thran Dynamo. Play the Academy Runes, play the Mindslaver, and then just Mindslaver our opponent. Even though this is not super good, because they don't really have things going on, I kind of just want to see. Woodfall Primus, Ugin, Primeval Titan. Wow, those are some cards. What I think I do is I can Ugin and then minus and just remove everything. I lose my Dak though. That also doesn't seem great. I can also just not do anything and then mana drain their next play, and then we get to Mindslaver them again. Yeah, that seems better. Untap, we get to Dak again. Discard these 2 islands. Then we get to make a very big Everflowing Chalice. Do want to keep up 2 blue mana. Cast with Multi-Kicker. Yeah, okay, they scoop. Yeah, they can see the writing on the wall. We have Academy Runes to just set up the Mindslaver loop. Cool. Let's put in Mizzy Mortars and then take out Tangle Wire. I think so. If they just explode, then we might have an issue, but we also have some counters to protect ourselves. We don't have great Tinker targets in this matchup. Like, a Worm Coil is good, but it will get overpowered by Woodfall Primus or Primeval Titan. I guess the 7-11, but that one is not going to be unblockable. So far, this Mindslaver pick has really paid off. Well, there's Mindslaver again, but we don't have anything else. So this I will mulligan. No, mana drain into Worm Coil. Well, I'll keep it. Put back this mountain. We don't need that yet. And I do like me a Brazen Borrower just to have some more ways to interact. Library of Alexandria, turn 1. Always scary, but it does mean that they're incentivized to go a little slower. Preordain, don't want either of these. Force of Will. Well, we have good interaction, that's for sure. Yep, they go draw cards. So we don't have forever, because this library is going to eat us alive. Shelldock Isle. So there are blue cards in their deck also. That might make the 7-11 a bit better if we ever get to Tinker. Yep, well, do we have ways to put this back? I don't think so. No. Well, that's unfortunate to draw that here. I guess we do have the ready to discard it and then get it back that way. See if they play something here. If they play a 3-drop, we get the Worm Coil and then have infinite counters up. That would be sweet. No, they don't do anything here. Didn't expect they would. Karn. Well, just pass. At some point they will have to play something, and that will be good. In the meantime, they're content just librarying every turn. They have 9 cards in hand now, so now is the time where I would expect them to want to play something. An island. Just play a 4-drop. No, they'd rather discard. I'm not just running out this Brazen Borrower. That seems weak. Discard an island. We get to play this. And I think I just played a Karn to put some form of pressure on them. I might also just counter this. No. Do I make a guy or do I just plus? I mean, we don't have a ton of artifacts out, so let's just plus. Mindslaver and Narset. Yeah, it gives the Slaver. It's 10 mana before that thing does anything. I would like to draw Academy Runes, and then we can power that up with the Karn. You might think it's safe to try and cast something now. We have this forest waiting for them. Yeah, they do tap out Time Twister. That is not happening. They have 8 cards in hand and they decide to Time Twister. I was tempted to just let it happen, but if their hand is that bad, then, well, I think I just start making dudes. No, let's just still plus. Everflowing Chalice and an island. They give us the island. At least we're making land drops. Downside to forcing the Time Twister is that after we mana drain something, we don't have another counter to really protect our play. We can mana drain into Mindslaver perhaps. Ooh, that would be something. Other downside is they do have this Shelldock Isle that they can use to cast something for very cheap. What is this? Fast Bond? Noble Hierarch. Well, I'm not countering Noble Hierarch, that's for sure. I will think bounce it and then just deploy the Brazen Borrower to at least have some little bit of pressure on them. Oh, I clicked through my attack step again. Do I just start making dudes now? No, I think I should still want a plus. I want to find some way to accelerate. Island and Tezzeret Seeker, so they keep giving us islands. Yep, keep drawing cards. This is a weird game. I did want to bounce the Noble, but maybe I'm better off not doing that. I have all the cards in the world. Being able to bounce stuff might be good. Yeah, I'm gonna let Nissa resolve. That's not that scary. I think I maybe bounce it now so they don't get the Planeswalker. The Planeswalker could start pressuring Karn. Don't want that. What if I mana drain their Nissa now? If they just replay it again? Then we would get to mana drain. Or we would get to Mindslaver off the mana drain mana. Jiraga Tree Speaker. That's fine. Yeah, I think they want to play Nissa. Gilded Goose. And Gilded Goose fine too. And then they get to draw. What is in our hand that we can get back with Karn also? Narset. Narset could be good. Well, let's deploy our Brazen Borrower and tap. Draw another island. I think I want to take the Narset now. Use Narset to go look for something. Ooh. Dak Faden, the Ready Tinker. I think I take the Ready. Yeah, tapping our mountain. We can't play it, but not sure if we otherwise would. I just want to mana drain something, and then maybe I can start setting up some sick Mindslaver loops with this already. I'll keep back the Brazen Borrower to block. Nah, I can just attack with the Jiraga Tree Speaker, and then I won't be able to block, so let's just send with it. They can hit our Narset, and that's fine. Ooh, they are using their Shelldock. What is this? Woodfall Primus. I am gonna mana drain this, so we definitely get to Mindslaver them next turn then. Unless something really bad happens. They have free reign and they can resolve whatever they want. They don't know that, of course, but Beast within our Karn. That's unfortunate. Karn was going to be our artifact machine for the ready, but it's not the end of the world. There are worse things. Another forest, and then they still have that Nissa in hand. Ooh, Channel. I do not like that. Oh, if we'd gotten to Mindslaver them with a Channel in hand, whew, as long as it's not Emrakul. As long as it's not Emrakul. Ulamog. Ulamog is pretty bad also. So that means we need to take all the turns with Mindslaver. Yeah, they take out our red land and our Narset. Well, okay. This Mindslaver has to do some work. That is clear now. I don't have an answer to Ulamog. Ulamog is just gonna kill us if they get to attack. Nissa. Yep. Well, we're up against it. Find a forest, so we get to play the forest and flip Nissa next turn, and that gives us another look and another card. Maybe they have some sort of Eternal Witness so we can get back to Channel. That seems like the easiest way to win. Also have Brazen Borrower that can attack in the air. Let's get the mana drain mana. We draw an island. That's not going to do it. Let's start by playing Mindslaver. Mindslaver them. We can't also play Wormcoil. Only thing we get to do is attack with the Brazen Borrower. They can just block with the Gilded Goose, and they do. Yep, so they're still on 7, and we need to find a way to kill them. If we draw a mountain, that doesn't even do it, because then we wouldn't have an artifact to also be able to Mindslaver, because they got rid of our Karn. Yeah, they can't do anything with the Goose. Time Walk Eureka. Wait, does Eureka let you put in Planeswalkers? Ooh, it does. It does let you do that. That is awesome. So let's play the land first, I guess. And Nissa's gonna flip. Nissa's gonna flip. We'll reveal the top card. What is it? I think it's just a land. No, it hasn't triggered yet. Okay, so it's a Gilded Lotus. Let's Eureka then. Let's put in Ancient Tomb. Let's put in the Ready. Let's put in Gilded Lotus. Let's put in Island. I guess I shouldn't be putting in these things. Not for them at least. Let's put in Wormcoil. Let's put in nothing. Let's put in Island. Let's put in nothing. And then we tap this to deal them 2 damage. We tap all of their mana so they can't do anything. Then we make them attack us. Yeah, I think we're gonna win this game. Make them attack us with these 2. Then we just get to eat their guys. Yep. And they have no mana left. We take our turn. They don't get a turn. Wonder why they didn't just cast a Time Walk there. Yeah, we win the match. We would have been able to, well, we could have already attacked for lethal, but we could have also sacked the Wormcoil, get back Mindslaver, and Mindslaver them again. Oh man, Mindslaver coming in clutch here. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. I didn't have very high hopes for this deck, but right now it's been delivering. And this Mindslaver pick over the Signet, oh boy. Let's go on to the finals. Into the finals, Mindslaver the MVP of this draft so far. We have a turn 2 Tinker hand, so we're keeping this. We're on the draw, but I'm not mulliganing this, never ever. Island, well, that makes Tinker a little less appealing, so you could counter it. Hopefully we don't draw the 7-11. Let's just pass, and then we'll see what they do. If they don't tap out, I'm not sure if I'll go for it. Ancient Tomb. Looks like they're tapping out for Trinket Mage. Yep. Let's see what they get. Soul Ring. Well, that's a good one. Grim Monolith. Let's go Island, and then what do I want to exile to this Chrome Mox? Is it Tezzeret or Narset? I think it's probably Tezzeret. No, actually, I think it's Narset. I think it is. Exile the Narset, and then we can play Grim Monolith as well, but I think just tinkering is best. No force, please. No force. Get Inkwell. And then let's see if they can beat this. We do need a couple turns, but if they tap their Ancient Tomb a bunch, then it goes quite quickly. And there's Soul Ring. 5 mana. Bribery. They get our Worm Coil. Yeah, that's not a race that's in our favor. Man, oof. Feeling good about Tinker, but as what usually happens with me playing Tinker, my opponents get something else that I can't really beat. Downside is if we block, then they got a bunch of worms. That also seems bad, but I can't really race this. As bad as this is, now I feel like I have to just keep back my Inkwell and block their Worm Coil. Yeah, I guess that's it. Man, that's poor. Mishra's Workshop, nice. I like our opponent's deck. Workshop is one of those other cards that I wish I could make work. I have to make this block. There's no way I'm racing a Worm Coil. They get the worms. It's all bad. It's all bad. We get to play... I guess we just play Mindslaver straight up without actually being able to activate it right away. Yeah, they countered us. Well, I think I'm just dead then. There's no way I'm getting back from this. Tezzeret is just going to die to these worms. The worms of... yeah, I have no way to really beat this. See if we can do better in game 2. What do I want? I don't think I want anything really. No, let's just submit. I could take out my big fatties in case they have bribery, but that doesn't seem like a winning play either. See if we can do better this time. At least we have some counter spells. We have turn 2 Signet, turn 3 Karn, or we can just keep up counters and play that game. And we have Field of Ruin for our opponent's busted mana lands, but it's quite a slow answer. Just don't play a turn 1 Workshop and go crazy, please. No, just an island. Ah, they have the Soul Ring. Well, already up against it then. Metal Worker. I'll just play my island and pass. If they play some absurd 4 mana spell, we get the Mana Drain, then play Karn next turn and keep up counterspell. Seems better than just playing the Signet. They play an island. I'd kind of be surprised if they do something, but I'm just going to Mana Drain this. And then we get to play Karn and keep open counterspell. Yep, and play the land. And I think I'm tempted to just make a dude and just try and beat them down, put them under pressure. Not sure if this is correct. We also need to draw lands. Ancient Tomb. What is this? 5 mana. Kuldotha Forge Master. That's a scary card too, so let's counter that too. And no need to keep open counter spells anymore. Force of Will. Ooh. Do I just keep up Force then? Make a dude. Play the Metal Worker. And then have Force up and beat them down in the meantime. I mean, this is pretty all in, but I think this is our best bet. Force is our last counter spell, so after this, there's no stopping what they can do. Tolarian Academy 2. Since I stop, I'll let that resolve. They go looking. We can kill one of their man lands, or we can kill one of their soul lands. Probably the Tolarian Academy in that case. Emry. Emry can just keep recasting stuff. I think I have to force this. I just want to get this game over with. Oh, they have more? No, they can look with the top again. And their deck seems real nice. I think it looks like a better version of what we're doing, but don't draw a card, please. No. Let that go. Dak Faden. Oh, let's plus first. Find another land. We can make 4 mana with the Metal Worker. And we can use the Field of Ruin on the Tolarian Academy. And then we can get a red source to... well, we don't even need to get a red source, but we will. This also lets them shuffle. Maybe I don't want them to shuffle. Maybe that's just bad. And then, let's see. We have 6 mana, so we can also play an Everflowing Chalice for 3, play the Signet, and then we have exactly enough for Dak. And this grows our guys a lot more also. Yeah, I think I like this better. I don't want to give them a shuffle. It looks like they didn't have anything on the top of their deck that could really save them, so why would I give them another look at it? Ooh, they have a spell pierce? No, counterspell. Okay, well, we get to hit them for 10, so they need to find something pretty good now. They're down to 5. The only card that I really don't want to see is Bribery. Look with the top, and they can see it. Whew, that was a close one, but I'm very happy with my decision to counter that Trinket Mage and just deploy Karn and start pressuring. That really paid off there. Maybe Mizium Mortars is better than Tangle Wire. They have a lot of fast mana. I want to be able to kill Emry. I think it's better, but it's still not great. All right, we're also on the draw now. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have as busted of a start. Well, we have Mana Drain, and we have some artifact mana. We don't have a way to really push our advantage, but I feel like this is a keepable hand. If they have an Emry, we have an answer for that. They mulligan and then play an island. Soul Ring again. Man, I guess they tutored for it the first time, but Boros Signet. So we need to dodge them having Bribery for one turn, and then next turn we can Mana Drain. If they Bribery here, I think it's just over. Ancient Tomb, so no double blue, that means no Bribery. Hopefully they just kept that hand because it had so much fast mana. Trinket Mage, sure. That gets the top, and then they get the top a bunch. I mean, that's good, but no, Chromox, they need more mana? What do they need all this mana for? Or do they maybe have Forge Master through the breach? Oh, they're wheeling? Whoa! That is... that is insane. That is absolutely disgusting. Wow. That I did not expect that. Man, that's good. Preordain. Oh, let's put back Worm Coil and let's draw the Force of Will. I really hope I don't have to force her to pitch the Tinker. And then maybe if next turn we draw a blue card, we can Tinker with Force backup. But our opponent just deployed 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 mana and then drew a fresh hand. So yeah, that was an insane start from them. Gave me flashback to Supreme Draft. Metalworker, sure. We just need to have them not have too many big payoffs. Tangle Wire. Oh, I really want to force this, but at the same time I really don't. I mean, I already know now that I have the force. I guess I just have to let this resolve and hope they didn't find anything in terms of business. They get to hit us with the Trinket Mage. Tangle Wire is going to tap all of our stuff. Yep. Maybe we draw a blue card that's not Tinker. We draw Chromox. I think we just play that as an artifact and something we can tap to the Tangle Wire. Don't want to exile any of our cards, no. It's just something to tap to Tangle Wire. And then next turn we do get to Tinker. Yeah, we tap 3 things and then Tinker away the Chromox. Now we just need to find a blue card to then be protected just a little bit. And we need them to miss. They're tapping their Metalworker so they don't have a bunch of artifacts but they're also tapping their Trinket Mage, so they do want as much mana as possible. They found their second blue source, which they haven't had before. So what is this? Bribery? Yep. Well, I'll try forcing it, pitching the Tinker. That works. Yep. We tap this, this, and this. Mindslaver. Could be good here. Play the Scalding Tarn. We just have to hope they somehow still miss. This the ready can maybe Mindslaver them a bunch again. Or they're lightning striking us. They're now on the beatdown plan. Yeah. Next turn we'll have all of our mana available. They're tapping the Metalworker again. Not sure why you lightning strike us, but then don't tap or tap your creatures. What is this? Is this like a wildfire? Muldrifter. That's good. Muldrifter means that we cannot just play the ready and have it live. Yeah. I guess we fetch now. We might as well get the mountain. What do we want to draw here? Man, if only we had one more turn at the beginning and they didn't just wheel on turn 2. We would have had to drain for their wheel and this game would have been way easy. We'll tap Relic and Chromox. Now let's tap these 2. Brazen Borrower. What can that do? You can bounce one of their guys, block their Muldrifter, and then the turn after we can play the ready and maybe do something. I mean, I guess that's what we have to do. I don't want to bounce the Trinket Mage because then they can find Sensei's top. Seems bad. Let's first make them tap some things. Also bounce the Chromox, deprive them of a mana that way. Yeah, they tapped the Tangle Wire, play Tolarian Academy. Alright, and they go attacking with everything. I think we bounce the Metalworker. And then we play the Brazen Borrower. And then we block the Muldrifter. That's gone. We're down to 9. They get to play their guy again. And they don't do anything. We need to tap one thing. We'll tap Chromox. Yep. What do we draw? Thran Dynamo. We can play Thran Dynamo and ready. No, the spell bears the ready. Ooh. Then what are we looking to draw now? A land so we can Mindslaver them. But I'm not sure how good Mindslaver is going to be. Oh man, this game is closer than I thought it would be, but we are still behind. Ooh, Charter Course. Why would you not first attack? Well, maybe if you have like a sword and you have a bunch of useless cards, it's better to do this now. Frost Titan. Oh man, I think that's probably the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, I really don't know how we're getting out of this now. Wormcoil. Wormcoil would have been good here. Yeah, I mean, we can draw a card with this relic. Grim Monolith. Yeah, we can play the Grim Monolith and play the Wormcoil, but they just attack with the Frost Titan, tap our Wormcoil, and then we lose. I was bad-mouthing Frost Titan, but it's gonna get us here. Well, I guess that's it for this draft. Pretty sweet, Mindslaver being really good, but our opponent deploying 7 mana on turn 2 and then wheeling to get a fresh hand of 7 after having no more cards in hand was just a little bit too good. I'll see you for the next one.